Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and as you can see by the title down below, today I will be talking about the possible monthly expenses for international students here in Canada. Now, I know it's been a while since I've uploaded a video. I've been busy with school and work, but I got a little mini break from school, so I decided to use the time wisely and record at least one video. So if this is something you're interested in seeing, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment and share. Stay tuned. So before I even get into the video, let's talk about the fact that I'm wearing a half top. My natural hair is out. It's now warm weather, AC weather. People, the place hot. So it's from one extreme to the next. So I'm just living up the summer and enjoying it while it lasts. Now, on to the real reason why you're here. Now, there's no rule book or manual to say this is what your monthly expenses will be like as an international student here in Canada, but it's a bit similar, and some of the figures you can average out, and I'm going to be as transparent as possible and think about at least the most common expenses that every international student here will have if they're in Canada. And this is if they're not living with family, they don't have any help, they're basically on their own. So those are, I'm going to base the figures on average from what I spend, from what my friends spend, and from what I realize the cost of living here in Canada is. So there are some, I have my phone with my notes, my calculator and everything, so that I can give you like averages for figures that are not set, and we can total it in the end to see how much an international student will be spending per month on average. At least you will have something to work with and judge and know that, okay, at least this will cost around that or something like that. So let's get straight into it. All right, let's start off with the most expensive one, which is obviously rent. But rent is a bit tricky because it can range from as low as, let's say, $400 to as high as about $1,600, $1,700 per month. But I'm just going to base this on the average international student who is probably sharing, having a roommate or something like that. And I would say on average, an international, well, I'm in Manitoba, Winnipeg, an international student is paying on average about $550 to $800. So I'm just going to use the average for that and see how much that is. So that is, the average for that is $675. So that's the figure I'm going to work with for rent, because I can't really give a base figure for rent, because as I said, it depends on how much convenience you want to pay for. It depends if you're renting an apartment, depends if you're renting a room in a house. But you can get places to rent for as low as $500, and I'm talking decent places. And you can, as I said, you can go up to about $1,600, $1,500, $700. It depends. But I'm just going to use a base figure to be $675 for rent. And then the next one would be groceries. Now, groceries, this too can range from how much people you're feeding, how much you eat, how much you cook, how much you try to meal prep. I personally try to meal prep, so I don't spend as much on groceries, but it's still not as low as you thought it would be. So on average for a single person, I would say the groceries will cost around $200 to about $350 per month. So the average bit for that is $275. I believe $275, even $250 can give you decent amount of groceries for the month for a single person. Now the next expense I'm going to touch on is transportation. Transportation really depends. So for example, some programs, they give you a bus pass that you pay for in your school fee that you don't have to be topping up monthly. But we're not going to base it on that one. We're going to base it on the fact that you have to top up your bus card monthly and just judge based off the cost of the monthly bus fare here. So as students, we do get a little discount on bus fare, so that's good, I guess. But on average in Winnipeg, I'm not sure if it's the same in every province, but on average the bus pass per month is around $85. That's unlimited, so you go and come as many times as you can. Or as students, you pay $2.80 per bus ride, and of course you can get a transfer ticket, which means that if you ride on a bus now, if you pay to ride on a bus now, you can get a transfer ticket to ride on the next bus for free within the span of 2 hours. I think I've never really used transfer because I just get the unlimited pass, so it doesn't really matter, just tap and go. However, in Winnipeg, for example, there is reduced bus card that you can get. It's called the Win Pass, and specifically for that one, you have to apply and get approved. Specifically for that one, per month, it's $54. But I'm not gonna base the figure on that because not everybody will have the Win Pass. So I'm just going to say $84 per month for bus transportation. The next expense I want to touch on is your phone bill. This is the next one. People typically say that phone prices here phone plans are relatively expensive. So you have to catch them when they have like deals, especially for students. Usually anytime that they know that a semester is about to start, a new school semester, they usually have phone plan deals for students. So that's the best time to actually take out a plan. But on average, I would say the phone plans range from about $35 per month to $60 per month. I think that's fair. So the average for that is basically $48, but I'm just going to say $45 for phone. I have miscellaneous expenses on this because things always happen. Things just, every month there is something that comes up that you didn't plan for, and you have to take out some money from your pocket. This can be school books, can be health-wise, it can be anything. So yeah, for miscellaneous, if I'm gonna say on average $50, but that's not if it's books, because the books here, they don't cost less than $100. And the instructors will force you to buy the book, or you have to pay for a software that you have to use for the duration of the course, which gives you no choice. You know, in Jamaica or anywhere else you study. In my first degree, I never bought a university book. Never. But since I've been here, I've been in school since January. I've bought 2 or 3 books, and none of them cost less than $100. Some of the books are ebooks, and it's easier that way because you can just put together as a class and buy and share the book. However, most of the instructors are trying to sell you these software that you have to individually log in, so you can't really share. But every now and then you may have to buy a book, so keep that in mind. But for miscellaneous, without it being a school book, I'm just gonna say it's $50. Also, I have a treat here because you can't just be working, going to school, and not doing anything, because it's not good for your mental health. And come on, we have to at least live a little. So for treat, and this can be just going to the movies, going to a restaurant, going to, just doing something for yourself. It's between $50 to $100, but I'm just going to use the average and say that it's also $50. Also, I have Uber/Uber Eats, because I don't know about anybody else. Sometimes we all go through times when we don't feel like cooking, or we don't feel like taking the bus, depending on where we're going. I know for sure that I have those moments, especially the not cooking part. When I don't feel like cooking, I just order food or order in or anything. So I have this to range from $30 to $70. And the average between that would be about $50. So I don't know about you. I'm not gonna pretend as if we don't order in or we don't call an Uber every now and then. So between, maybe even a bit lower depending on you and your lifestyle, but $50 I would say is safe, because if you order one meal on Uber Eats, that's probably $25 already. A Uber trip can cost $10, $8, $12 depending on the distance. So yeah, but yeah, those are basically all the expenses I have that at least every student will have to face, give and take, on average, obviously. But yeah, if you have any questions about any other expense, you can just leave a comment and I will be sure to answer your comment. But for now, I have rent, groceries, transportation, phone, miscellaneous, your treat, and Uber. Now, let's total these. Sorry for the noise, guys, if you're hearing like, because it's garbage day and... But I needed to... I needed to get this video out the way. We are not going to let the distractions get us down. I'm pretty sure you can still hear me, and I'm wrapping up the video. So let's total these expenses and see what the final monthly average expense for an international student here in Canada is. So rent $675 on average, groceries $275 on average, transportation $84, phone $45, miscellaneous $50, treat $50, Uber $50. That is $1,229. So I'm just gonna say 1,230. And it can be less, it can be more. And if it is less, I'm gonna say it can go down. You can try to get that down to about 1,150, but it's hard to get it below $1,000. Now let's put things into perspective. For example, the minimum wage in Winnipeg, Manitoba is $14.15. Stay with me. I'm going to put it on the screen. $14.15. Let's say you work 20 hours per week, which you may not work 20 hours per week. You may work less, you may work more, but I'm just going to work with the average. 20 hours per week at $14.15. That's $283 per month. Stay with me. Not per month, per week, sorry. So $283 per week, 4 weeks in a month. That's $1,132. So again, the original 1,230 that we came up with for monthly expense is an average. So again, it can be less. Mine personally is less, but I pay a smaller rent, and the groceries is slightly less, but as I said, it can be less, so don't panic. And oh, the $1,132 is before tax. So you have to do one of two things: get a job that doesn't pay minimum wage, or get a job that allows you to work more than 20 hours per week. Actually, one of three things: a job that doesn't pay minimum wage, a job that allows you to work more than 20 hours per week, or a job or two jobs. Oh, and by the way, for your expenses, some people have the gym as an expense, so maybe that could also be an expense. But the gym is usually, for example, Planet Fitness, I know it's not more than $25. For a single person, I think it's even less than $15. So that's not so bad. But as I said before, these are just some average. I know that I don't spend $1,230 per month. I can. It's pretty close, but it's never less than $1,000. The rent I used here is $675. I don't pay as much. Thank you, Jesus. So my 1,230 is already cut. The grocery is $275. I would say it's pretty close. It's a bit more than what I spend, but it's pretty close to how much it can come to. Transportation, I have the Win Pass. Thank you, Jesus. So I don't pay the $84. I pay $54. For phone, I had to buy a phone when I got to Canada, so it's $45 plus whatever I'm paying for the phone. So my phone is like 60 something dollars per month. And I know people who don't have a phone, who did not buy a phone, they're just paying for their phone plan, and they are paying 60 something dollars. I know people who are also paying for internet, as in Wi-Fi, because it's not included in their rent. So that again is an expense. I personally I didn't have to take out my own internet, so I didn't have that as an expense. But that is also something you'd have to consider, especially if you're renting an apartment and you have to take out your own internet. Also, if you're paying for your own utilities like rent, like water, electricity. Most apartments, at least one of those would be included, but like hydro and the typical utilities, some people have to pay for garbage pickup as well. So the expenses, give and take, can be higher than the 1,230 or lower. And for treat, I do treat, so I definitely would say 50 to 100 between there. And Uber, I definitely use Uber, and I definitely order Uber Eats, so $50 or even $60 I think is fair. But yeah, that's basically it. So it just goes to show that you cannot come to Canada broke. You have to come here with at least your school fee, because if you're coming with the mentality that you're going to be working and trying to save for your school fee at the same time, unless you get a job that's paying you $30 an hour, good luck. So yeah, but it's possible. And like I said, the minimum wage in Manitoba is $14.15. It's gonna raise in October. So, and before tax, that would equal to you doing 20 hours per week, $1,132. So if you're earning just minimum wage, just minimum 20 hours per week, you could try to get your expenses to be less than $1,000 or even $1,000, and you have at least $132 to save. But yeah, that's basically it. And I would just like to say thank you for watching. If you made it to the end of the video, don't forget to like the video, leave a comment if you have any questions, share, and also subscribe. Now I'm thinking of doing a little series of days, the days in my life, or what it's like as an international student here in Canada, but I'm not so sure how that would go yet. But who knows, I might end up doing that. So let me know if that is something you would be interested in seeing. Basically like mini vlogs of what it's like in my life, I guess, from going to school, work, the gym, because I started going to anyways, yeah. But so you can leave your comments and let me know if that is something you would be interested in seeing. But for now, this is it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.